So today I'm doing a video on a topic which many of my friends have requested, that is when to change and replace the tires on a fast motorcycle, a performance oriented motorcycle. Because on a general commuter motorcycle or even a car, the tires are important but not as critical as on a fast machine. Because on a fast machine, if you are riding with a tire which is not in a good condition, you would be risking your life, and because the tire can blow out, and not just blow out, but you can also lose traction and slide off, and these kind of issues are very kind of dangerous. So let us talk about this topic, that is on a fast motorcycle, could be a Duke 390 or any of them, or even a super bike. When do you replace the tires? And I'll try and keep this video simple. I have thought about 4 points. And point number 1 is the age of the tire. Point number 2 is the wear and tear. Point number 3 are the number of punctures that you have. And point number 4 are the sidewalls. So based on these 4 points, you can assess when to replace your motorcycle tire. And these points are not on priority basis, but they are just random. So now let us take a look at my Yamaha R1 tire here. Okay. Now, when you take a look at a tire, what do you check? Point number 1, as I mentioned, age. Let us talk about that. Now, many of us buy motorcycles and cars these days, but they could be our second or third motorcycle or a car. So basically what I mean to say is that we can have multiple machines with us, correct? And in my case, as I have multiple machines, I don't ride these machines very often. So one tire on this motorcycle can go on for many number of years. So for example, this tire has done about 7,000 kilometers, and there is still some tread left on this tire. So how do you assess if I have to change this tire or not? Number 1, remember, tires are made of rubber, and rubber does age because of weathering. Now if you are parking your motorcycle or your car in a shade, in a controlled environment, then in that case your car or motorcycle tires can have a life span of about 5 years of storage. However, you got to keep checking for one thing, that is cracks. Because this is rubber, you got to assess cracks. So what I would suggest is that take a wet cloth, wipe off your tire and see if there are any cracks anywhere. And also one thing you got to assess is that with age, on these tires, what we get are bubbles. We can get small bubbles which sometimes are not visible to your naked eye. So put this motorcycle on a stand, take a wet cloth, wipe it up and run your hand all over the tire. So when you're doing that, if there are any bubbles anywhere, you would get to know, you can feel it, and these bubbles can be dangerous when you're riding fast. And that area, these bubbles can be so weak that they can kind of explode and the tire can blow out. So this is something you can check. And let us get to wear and tear. Now when you're riding your motorcycle tire, there can be wear and tear, right? Of course there will be. So not always when the tire looks good. That is, for example, this tire looks like it has got enough tread, enough rubber on it, correct? But as a matter of fact, no. Because what has happened is that because we do most of our riding on highways and city roads, and we are not taking our motorcycles to track very often, in that case the sides would still have rubber. Those are known as chicken stripes, which is kind of a shame. They say, if you have chicken stripes, but it's okay. Where do we really corner our motorcycles on our city roads? But what happens is that this motorcycle, as I said, has done about 6,000 kilometers. The center part, this part, has got a flat spot. So the rubber here is much lesser than the rubber here. So this is how we develop traction issues. Now this motorcycle, if I open throttle in a kind of an aggressive manner, I would kind of start spinning my rear wheel, because the soft compound rubber here has become less. Remember, a motorcycle or a car tire is a combination of multiple layers of rubber, and on the top would be soft compound, and later medium compound, and after that would be the steel radials. So if we lose soft compound tire, soft compound rubber we would start losing traction. So that is the reason these motorcycle manufacturers say that on high performance motorcycles, the lifespan is about 8,000 kilometers. But even when we are reaching 8,000 kilometers, it doesn't mean the tire would look completely worn out. No, but it has lost the soft compound and the main traction area. So take a look at the tire. Don't just go by visually if it's got tread, because losing traction is dangerous. If you can slide off. So that is the thing about the tread. And third point I would like to talk about is the number of punctures. On high performance motorcycles, it is said that if there is even a single puncture, throw away the tire and buy a new tire. But again, it is not always possible, I understand, because these tires are expensive. 25,000 or 30,000 rupees just the rare, the set of the tires. Yes. So we can't do that, right? And I've always said, remember, punctures don't do the general plug puncture where you put that sticky plug inside and keep riding, because I have a video where I almost died. Yes, because that sticky plug just came out of my tire when I was riding very, very fast. So puncture on these motorcycles, you can only rely on a mushroom puncture. That is it. But remember, the maximum acceptable punctures are only one. So even if you have a brand new tire which you've only done 500 kilometers on, and if you have a puncture on it, get a mushroom puncture. But if you have a second puncture on it, sorry, don't again get a mushroom puncture done, because you're risking your life here. Throw away the tire or sell it to someone if they want to use it for a burnout or something, and buy a new tire. I know it's expensive, but yes. And a puncture is acceptable only on a rear tire. Remember that. Another thing, on a front tire, never do a puncture on a high performance motorcycle, because when you are hard braking, all the pressure, all the force is on the front tire, and if the puncture comes out, in that situation, if you lose your front end, you are done. So because a motorcycle is all about the front end, right? And the next point is the sidewalls, as I mentioned, because very often what happens is that with the age, this is a combination of age and sidewalls. Okay, with the age, if the motorcycle tire or a car tire is about 4 or 5 years old, and even if you have ridden only 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers, what you got to check is the sidewalls. On the sidewalls, you can see slight cracks on my R1 tire. So that is absolutely dangerous. Yes, I need a new tire for my Yamaha R1. So because remember, a motorcycle tire, all the pressure, all the weight is taken by the side walls, and if the side walls have cracks, and if they kind of leak air or give way when you're riding fast, it is absolutely dangerous. So if you see any cracks on your side walls, it is time for you to replace your tire as well. And also, punctures don't just happen on the surface of the tire, they can happen on the side walls also. Nails can go into the side wall. So if you ever have a puncture on the side wall of your tire, forget it. No puncture, no mushroom puncture. Just throw away your tire and buy a new tire, friends. So I think I've covered all the 4 points: age, tread, punctures, and side walls. So do check your motorcycle tires or car tires using this as a reference, and if you feel that you have few more points which you can add, please add in the comments. Let us together discuss and make driving and riding a safe thing. Thank you, friends. Bye bye.